Meeting called to order at 5:02 PM. I'm gonna do roll call. Bianca Mendoza,
Present.
Nicomas Paez, Victoria Fine present. Anne Marie English Defoe,
Present.
Kelsey Jordan, present. And so we have guests. Do we have anybody online? Kristen Ferris. Amanda Defoe. Ramona Victor.
And ZB.
And CB. Okay. Moving on to 3, mission and statement. Anne Marie, can you read that for me, please?
The mission is to prepare each student for college with an enhanced knowledge of the Ojibwe language, culture, leadership, and environmental stewardship. Vision. At Endazhi-Nitaawiging, the vision is to create confident leaders grounded in their true inherent identities and to ensure that they are academically, socially, and spiritually prepared to positively change the community and world.
What I'm going to be talking, I'm going to do the prayer. Hoje man do kwem kusi kasma konin do de mi wachuen down ma bi jai o ni witawgin endaji ni witagin ni witawgin agindasian uma nungum chimi wachuen down wabnung jamanung ningabinung iwadinung indashu spiming shumisnan hukumisnan away si wagis ni kade o chimi wachuen down bi jai o koivug we dashwa ower go we do kage ower nungum gibizin de yego man nungum gibi jaye go chimigo chwen dan ma mani do tapen sema homigo
Mohamiigwech.
today Larry yes chimi inganush na kade go. All right, so we're going to be doing on 5 approval, agenda approval. I need a motion to approve the agenda for the regular board meeting of May 20th, 2026 as presented.
All motion.
I'll second. Any discussion on the agenda? Any discussion on the agenda? First and foremost, like anything, any discussion on the agenda? No discussion, we're gonna move on to the vote for approval of the motion. Approval of the agenda for the regular board meeting agenda of May 20th, 2026 is presented. Taken vote, Nicomas Paez. Yes. Bianca Mendoza.
Yes.
Victoria Fine, yes. Anne Marie English Defoe.
Yes.
Kelsey Jordan.
Yes.
Great. Moving on to 5, public comment. So as a board chair, I am establishing clear parameters for public comment. Personal attacks or disparaging remarks directed at any individual, including board members, will not be permitted. We ask that your public comments related to the board agenda or any complaints and concerns should be directed to the head of school for school board review. Please understand that the board may have access to information that cannot be disclosed publicly. Our responsibility is to act in the best interest of the school as a whole, not on behalf of any individual or group. Rich. So welcome to this meeting of the school board here at Endazhi-Nitaawiging. We are extremely pleased that you have shown an interest in our school affairs by attending this meeting. The school board allows public participation at its meeting, but at the same time has the responsibility for conducting its business in an orderly fashion. We'll provide the audience an opportunity to speak, request to speak. We request that before you speak, please announce your name. Each speaker will will be allowed 3 minutes unless it's a time limit waived by the majority of the board members present. I'm gonna only allow up to 4 individuals today. So if anybody has anything on that. At the public meeting of the board, no person shall inordinately initiate charges or complaints against individual employees of the district or the challenge instruction material used in the district. All such charges, if presented to the board directly, shall be referred to the executive director of Endazhi-Nitaawiging for investigation and report. We would like to remind the public that the school board is not allowed to comment on your concerns. If there are no questions, we'll open the public comment section of the board meeting. Rich. I don't see myself. Ellie, what's your last name?
Mackenzie.
Oh, Mackenzie. Oh,
No worries.
Yeah. Brenda?
no.
Natalie Lily.
Oh, hi, Richard?
Richard Defoe. Grace. Oh, I only know him by Opie. I only know him by Opie. Sorry, my bad. All right. So we're still open to public comment. So if you're gonna do something in public comment, please state your name.
So this is for the, just to clarify, this is for the working board meeting, though, not the main board meeting for public comment. There's two different sections.
No, this is the regular one.
This is the regular.
The regular meeting.
Yep. Oh,
So
okay.
you guys are starting earlier.
Yep.
It's 5:30 for the main, 5 o'clock for the working board.
Working board happened on Saturday.
Okay, because I know that there's another person coming for board meeting. It started at 5:30.
Okay. So I'm gonna read this as a board chair. I establishing clear parameters for public comment. Any personal attacks or disparaging remarks directed at any individual, including board members, will not be permitted. We ask that your public comment related to the board's agenda, any complaints or concerns should be directed to the head of school for school board review. Please understand that the board has access to information that cannot be disclosed publicly. Our responsibility is to act in the best interests of the school as a whole and not on behalf of any individual or any group. Be rich.
So anybody can make a public comment at this
Yeah,
time?
right now, yep.
Okay, my name is Brenda Counselor and I'm a teacher here at Endazhi. And, I voted in the election and the ballot was, it didn't list any options, for any community rep and teacher rep. And, so we had to write in a candidate and it was not clear why it was done that way. But I did go ahead and sign in and I did go ahead and vote. However, you know, the person I voted for was never seated on the board. I did not see the election results. from the ballots, nor were they not posted. And, and how it was the people were supposed to vote for, a teacher. We have like so many teachers in the schools who was in the employment of the school at the time when we voted. And it did not turn out that way. And a person on the board not employed at the school got appointed onto the board. And previously, I sat in a meeting like in April, and Mr. Sumner was here, and he had a thought that his name would go on the ballot as a community at large possible voting candidate to be put on the school board. However, in the ballot options, there was never anybody listed as a community at large. So I don't have any confidence that the election policies of the school board have been followed or handled properly. That's my public comment.
Rich?
I have a public comment. Recently, there was a walkout by some staff members on
Your
Monday.
name?
Oh, Mackenzie Talley. And we were verbally fired by a person who works at the school who doesn't have that authority. When we stated very clearly that we were intending to come back and that we were just using our voice because it hasn't been listened to. It's a time-honored tradition in teaching and nursing because they're empathetic positions that tend to leave you open to manipulation by the powers that be because they know you care so that you don't want to leave your job when you're being mistreated. So this walkout was planned for those reasons. There's also a petition that the majority of the staff at this school have signed in agreement with the reasons for walkout. They chose not to walk out because of the fear of retaliation and firing that we experienced. Later that day, we were sent text messages to tell us that our contracts had ended. That is still not due process. You're not supposed to be fired via text. We have filed with HR at the tribal building, and we also filed with Endazhi's HR, who informed us that we need to come to the board. And so I'm coming to the board and I'm asking for a third-party investigation as precedent was set with the firing of a previous employee that she believed was wrongful. We would like a third-party investigator to investigate our terminations in the same capacity that that was done. Thank you.
Rich?
My name is Natalie Welly. I am a former employee here. I have a public comment. So dear Endazhi-Nitaawiging board members, the evidence surrounding the execution of Michelle Johnson employee agreement confirms a deliberate bypass of the authorities defined by the school's bylaws. The record established that the board chair was fully aware of the proper administrative process and chose to act independently, violating the mandatory collaboration requirement of Article 6, Section 3, and seizing the executive director's delegated duties under Article 8. Furthermore, the breaches of the bylaws, violation of Article 6, Section 3, the section mandates the chair execute contracts with the collaboration of the executive director and only as authorized by the board. By excluding the executive director after being told the executive director would handle the agreement and acting without board resolution, the chair fundamentally failed to collaborate and acted without authority. Violation of Article 8, Section 2, the bylaws name the executive director as the individual responsible for hiring and release of all staff members. The chair's actions are a direct encroachment of the executive director's authority and a violation of the board's own delegation of powers. And I also am concerned about the hiring and of former employees and putting them on the board when they didn't go through the election process. That is in the bylaws as well.
Good.
5 minutes to address the student.
3 minutes. Yeah. Introduce yourself and then you can do your public comment. Yep, we're only allowing 3 minutes.
Bonjour, my name is George Spears, former teacher here at Endazhi-Nitaawiging. So over the last couple of days, or I guess we'll go back to the beginning of when this protest took place, but also the course of the last few months of school. The school was kind of being run really under hostile kind of conditions. Staff did not really kind of know what was going on day to day. Information wasn't being shared with the staff. I know I was a part of a few of the board meetings when staff expressed their concerns about what was going on day to day. I have expressed my concerns with kind of the production and the process of the school and how it's run many times with administrators too. And that goes back to the beginning of the school year. Because I have a background in running schools too, but also having seen kind of where we needed help. I've given input throughout this process or throughout this school year where I felt like we needed some help. I did get some help with my classroom in running it too. I also felt very troubled losing a highly skilled professional just because of this hostile work environment. Decided to leave because she just couldn't work under these conditions. There was a person that was aiding in what I had set up in my classroom as 7th and 8th graders, with giving them really core skills that a lot of them were missing in regards to math and science. And so that individual decided to leave and express concerns about the conditions of the school and how it's being operated. There was also, in addition to us appearing at board meetings, there was a petition that's being circulated around. I haven't seen the final count with staff regarding board's violations and their voting decision, election decision making. That information was also shared with Human Resources at the Red Lake Tribal Council building 2 days, was that 2 days ago or 1 day ago? So we expressed that along with the staff that were terminated by an individual that didn't have authorization to terminate us, but also that doesn't have an official title at this school. I understand that there's people signing documents on behalf of this individual.
Very good.
Yeah.
So that concludes our public comment. So moving on to.
I do have a
item-
public comment. This is Sylvia Fred.
We already have 4 people.
That was our 4th person, sorry.
What do you mean that was your 4th person? How are you limiting the people of public comment?
Came in after I read this, the comment that I was establishing clear parameters, allowing only 4 people to speak at public comment tonight.
So you're silencing the community?
No, I'm not silencing the community. I'm allowing the 4 people to express their concerns. Moving on to item 6, reports. Need the finance report, please. I don't even have it.
I guess with the last thing.
Yes,
Yeah, oh, with the last.
yeah, it's the,
Okay.
Ramona.
So the board meeting on Saturday, we went over the expenditures of the year and the projected enrollment for next year. And as you can look at your column there, this is the tan column. We are expected to have revenue that will cover all of our expenses based on the corrected information for the enrollment from this year. As you know, our enrollment was not updated. And so we are working on enrollment from 2 years ago. And so our correct enrollment will went in, but they won't allow us to draw from it until, I believe it's September.
They said October.
Was it October? Yeah. But we have gotten our finances under control thanks to, in large part, the tribe helping us out. I believe it was 1.1 million they've helped us with this year in order to get us to be solvent. And we have set a goal in the finance committee of working towards a 30% bumper so that if something disastrous happens, we've got some money. And we should end the year, if everything works out right, we should end the year with about a 17% growth rate is what we're aiming for. But we're going to be watching those numbers very closely. And Todd will be available next meeting. I think he couldn't be here this month.
Okay. You bet. Hello, school.
You have the phone in your packet.
No, I didn't get.
Or did you miss it?
I probably missed it because I didn't see it either.
Yeah, let me try that.
Okay.
So I don't know. She did.
Yes, right there.
Oh, this one here.
Yeah.
Oh,
So enrollment and attendance, Endazhi-Nitaawiging is ending the school year with enrollment of 83. Last Thursday, May 14th, we were able to take 22 students on a reward trip to Thief River Water Park. We're missing no more than 1 day of school, fourth quarter up to that date. That's a fourth of our population. And while we have some students whose families struggle with attendance, I feel we should celebrate the fact that 1/4 of the students have exceptional attendance. So they're doing very well.
It was in front of this one, in the back, in the very back, and it looks like this.
there it is. Okay.
So testing, Endazhi students have completed the MCA testing in grades 3 through 8. We only had 2 students who were unable to complete. And STAR testing is grade K through 8. I had the numbers and I didn't bring them, but I believe it was 4 didn't complete the math and 6 didn't complete the reading. They weren't the same students though. And we tried really hard to catch everybody up, but it was very difficult. If you want to look at, I did include in your packet a sheet that looks like this. One of the things we were in, I tend to think of it as bad school jail. One of our deficiencies from Osprey Wild was that we were not doing appropriate testing of our students to monitor growth in math and reading. And as you can see there, we are looking at the 3 times we tested. And you can see that we did better in math than in reading. In the fall, we had not exactly their scaled score, so it was 812, then it went up to 897. And then we dropped a bit to 853. Not quite sure how that was our math enterprise. And in reading, we went from 881 in the fall to an aggregate score of 870, and then dropped slightly to 868.
It looks like more students took the testing in the spring,
Mhm.
so
That's why it would.
Yeah,
that's
we
why
did.
the average.
Yeah, so the average has changed because of more students testing. We've done a better job of getting our students tested.
Because it looks like first grade to fifth grade didn't do fall, kindergarten didn't do winter, so it's really not an
Yeah.
exact, but if you look at some of these other ones, they have improved if you go grade by grade.
Grade by grade, they are improving.
But I just have a question about like, for those students that didn't finish the math testing or they didn't complete the reading testing, is that due to absences? What happened?
Yeah, it was mostly due to absences and just trying to catch them on days we were able to test. Also, we had almost complete computer glitches. Remember when everything was shutting down all the time there for a while?
Oh, and those have been resolved.
Well, those are working, it's working now. But not gonna wood, but that was very frustrating. We would just get started and then they would all shut down and then we would have to restart everything. So it was very frustrating. So in the report from Osprey Wild, that's one of the things they'll talk about is our success in meeting those goals and moving towards those goals.
And how many times did the computer thing happen? Was that?
It was over a period of days. I mean, what was it, like 4 days? It would just blink off and go.
Before or after the tech was switched over?
It was before. But I think it was happening at the tribe too, if I heard right, it was everywhere. So it was the tribal council and everywhere was having the glitches. I'm not sure if they were trying to work the problem with that or like.
Yeah. Like,
But-
even like their test, like, and I helped out one day, and they should answer the question, but it would take forever to generate.
Yeah, everything we kept
So
getting.
then that affected their time.
Their time and then their frustration level would grow because,
Yeah.
so it was unfortunate timing. Summer programming, as of this afternoon, we have 26 students registered, signed up. We'll be offering academics, gardening, sporting, feeding, sewing, fishing, cooking, language, culture, and field trips. They are still accepting enrollment from students and community members. And we did start doing our media blitz on that. We put that out in our different media areas space. And I think we're going to do some wording changes. We talked about saying if you have family members that go to another school and they want to come here, invite them along. And there's places just to check and say, we go to this school. So everyone's welcome. We had kindergarten graduation. Thank you to those of you who were able to come. It was really cute. They did so well. It was very well attended and we very much enjoyed the gift from Cheryl Spears, providing the brisket and some of the sides for our meal. That was very nice of her to help us out with that. I always considered a good kindergarten graduation when nobody cries. Or nobody has to be carried up.
So maybe you can send, Red Lake Agriculture out.
We're sending up.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are. And I think we're doing it publicly too, because we had a very cute poster sign out front. If you came, you saw all the kids. And we included that picture in the thank you.
Cool. Cool.
Included in your packet are the service provided through the tribal IT as part of our receiving all IT services to them. Osprey Wild has asked that we do a memorandum of understanding to have on file, and we are working on developing that memorandum. And it'll be ready for approval by the board at the next meeting. Moving forward, I'm happy to assist any new administration should they request help. And I believe Endazhi-Nitaawiging has a great mission and purpose and can move forward for the betterment of all students who attend.
Moving on to parent committee, APAC.
We held our APAC meeting yesterday. It was called to order at 5:06. Attendees were Ramona Victor, Dave May, myself, George Spears, and his wife Rhea Spears. Ramona Victor gave a report on the academic progress, completion of the MCA testing and the STAR testing that is near completion. MCA testing had 2 adults and the students were testing a teacher and a para. George said his students did well completing the testing. Some took it more serious than others. STAR testing is during the school year, the fall, winter show improvement. Have not received information on the winter or spring. Osprey Wiles will look at the STAR testing. Grades for the 4th term will be done by the staff soon. Summer program planning is underway, which will be 4 weeks in June with possible field trips at the end of each week. Yesterday, there was 20 students enrolled with a plan to do outreach for more participation. Students that are not Endazhi students may also sign up with hopes of recruiting more students for next year. To register, you can use a QR code. Talk about the immersion school moving to this school. That is if the school has space for them. They're looking up grants to purchase swings and slides for the students. The kids go to Shady Park, but they have to check the park first for needles and other paraphernalia. Ramona spoke on the new programs they will be implementing with math, reading, and grading. Dave May asked about the posts on social media and what was going on. George spoke on it about teachers leaving, how it was all building up, the conditions and hostile work environment, the board being out of compliance and threats being made. Ramona stated if it wasn't for the tribe helping out, the doors would have been closed in February. Any other business we needed to talk about? We didn't. We had a meat tray and water at APEC meeting. And we adjourned the meeting at 5:45.
Snacks are always good. Thank you. And so moving on to the review of the renewal application crashes. Ramona?
Okay, so Osprey Wild you have in your packet all of the notice of deficiency and intervention level 2 status update.
I'm so sorry. I just want to come back to something really quick from the APAC minutes here. Because we are aware that the students go to Shady Park and for recess or free time or like gym or whatever that they're doing. And it's really sad that they have to check for needles and other paraphernalia when they bring kids over there, when Red Lake does pay people to do grounds maintenance along the walk path and at Shady Park. So I'm wondering, who do we reach out to?
Well, we got the most results the day that one of our teachers took a picture of, actually it was a bag that had a bunch of needles in it. And we took a picture, they brought everybody back, and that's when we started monitoring before we go. And I sent that to the police and they, it got worked on right away.
We probably need to figure out who that
The contact person is.
for maintenance over there, because I do remember they were talking about that.
Maybe?
I did mention it to Tom when he was here, so maybe that helped. I just know that when I sent it to the police, they said they would deal with it, take care of it, and they said if we found anything again to just do like I did and send it right away.
I do that. Thank you guys for making that report, because I think it's important that they know that this is very serious and we have these young kids
Some
that.
people that
Yeah,
utilize
and
their
it's
park.
used a lot by families too at this point. Sometimes they think it's there all the time, so.
So thank you for making that report.
So they, I won't read the whole thing because it's like 8 pages long. But that it is a letter of formal status update to the school's current notice of deficiency intervention level 2 dated May 19th.
Updated.
It's got the bird on it. Yeah, that's the one.
It's not in our packet. I printed it still in.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, I think she emailed it to everybody so you can look at it before.
Yeah.
I didn't receive that one either.
There's one copy.
Yeah, I think that's what she's gonna do.
Was that the NOD status one that we got today?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a good report.
Done. Notice of deficiency status update.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was making one of the financial management, what they wrote on
copy, but can you see it online? Or do you want me to go make paper copies of
We wanna
mine?
make paper copies.
Yeah.
probably.
Thank you, Irma.
Can a full packet be available for those participating online? It's public information.
Does anybody have one?
Generally, people like scan them in with the minutes. Oh, sorry, yeah, that's just a recommendation.
She can get it.
Yeah, like scan it with the minutes, there's no issue right away.
Mhm.
Over time.
I just texted to Angel. Or I mean, forwarded the email to Angel.
I'll read it all. Just kidding.
Very what?
It is. I'd read it. Which is good.
Yeah.
So the mark's 1 year since yesterday was 1 year since we got the original
Mhm.
deficiency.
Did you compare them to?
I was going to, I have to,
Okay.
but I didn't get to.
What stands out to you the most?
Financials. How we
And that's
talking
gonna
about-
be an ongoing thing for the next, probably for the next 2 years.
No.
Getting that going
Yeah, I
and
think that's the loan on. You know? The school authorizer.
A lot of it had to do with reporting. There was a lack of reporting for 3 years. And it's big, goes into detail in here.
well, this is just a status update.
Yeah, it just came in this afternoon, so just forwarded the email to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you.
And you'll see some weird little highlights, those are mine.
I love your little highlights.
I didn't do it in color, we're trying to save money.
That's okay.
Good thing I printed mine off there, so I see the paper.
So this is the formal status update from the school's current notification of deficiency intervention level 2 dated May 19th, 2025. And it outlines the concerns of Osprey Wild's Environmental Learning Center, Osprey Wild, or OW as they refer to themselves in this document, has regarding Endazhi-Nitaawiging, or EN as the school is referred to in the rest of the report. The status update is specific to the school's academic performance. So they listed their 4 concerns for review. Failure to meet standards on the academic performance evaluation. That was what we were talking about. We were talking about the SCAR testing. The school's improvement forms and FYI was due to an indicator area 10 attendance. They had one issue. They said the school's consistent attendance rate increased from 38% in the year 23.
Yeah, fiscal year 2023.
To 100% in 24. We're probably going to get dinged on that. Because that's pretty much impossible. And then it goes on to, so I'm just going over highlights of this. In the update, the initial notice required the school to develop and submit an academic improvement plan. And it identifies the root causes of low academic performance, includes specific measurable and time-bound action steps to improve proficiency and growth in core academic areas, including reading, math, and science. And that was why in the fall, the new curriculums were implemented, so that we could more accurately assess all of them. Assign responsible parties to implementation and monitor and describe how the school will use the data to implement instruction and track progress. And the school provided this plan in December of 2025. So that is a large part of Jola's job. Jola Webb is the academic performance monitoring. Then they come to a highlighted portion there. It says OW has observed through interviews and site visits that the current administration has collected data with fidelity for the 25-26 school year, administering local, developed, nationally normed, and state required tests throughout the school year. So that was the STAR testing. OW has also noted that a consistently documented attendance and truancy process has been put in place to ensure
back of
accurate
the number
reporting on
one.
attendance meetings. And that is through we're doing attendance through the new system that we just introduced this year.
And did the board approved, following the schools and then the regulate,
Yep,
truancy law?
yes. We were, we have to follow the tribal code, which is also in coordination with the state laws. So it follows everyone. Then we talked about failure to provide student performance data to OW, and they listed the issues in the years previous, but they did say that the current school year is due to OW in the fall. Site visits this year have shown that the data has been collected more consistently, and OW staff look forward to reviewing the data and seeing the impact on academic performance evaluations when it is submitted. Then there was the failure of board financial management. And it's said that on this most recent financial performance evaluation, which is based on data from the 24 audit, the fiscal year 24 audit. So that was last year's audit. The school did not meet the standard on 3 of the 5 financial management indicators the previous year. And they did not meet the standard on 4 out of 5 financial management indicators. The school did not meet standard for 2 years in a row following indicators, budgeting, financial policies and practices, and financial reporting. But the update is OW required 4-year financial planning as part of its NOD. A 5-year plan was provided in December 2025. The school's continued financial decline resulted in February 2026 notice of probationary status. That was a real difficult time. Financial indicators for the school will continue to be monitored through the, and I'm not sure what this stands for, NOPS. And the resulting
Notice of probationary status.
Thank you. And resulting financial improvement plan, FIP, due at the end of May of 2026. And that is currently being worked on. That was what the financial committee met on. And we are formulating that plan into a written format. So we will have to be looking at probably a special to get that done. It is a lot of data to complete in the short amount of time we had from Saturday to today. Of note, since leadership turned over in February, numerous financial mismanagement issues have come to light, including misrepresentation on grant applications, misuse of grant funds, inadequate grant reporting, failure to track and pay invoices, failure to report accurate student counts to MDE, failure to apply for tax exempt status, failure to pay unemployment and insurance costs, resulting in high fees and penalties assessed to the school, and failure to consistently track and report paid time off, PTO, and accrued time consistently for all employees at Endazhi-Nitaawiging. The current administration has taken steps to remedy these issues, convening weekly finance meetings with the school's financial service provider to monitor cash flow, track grant expenditures, reimbursements, fix compliance issues, and negotiate payment plans for invoices outstanding from as far back as 2022. The administration has also put into place a number of internal controls for the use of the school debit card, check writing, reimbursements, and invoices received and paid. The work it has taken to get the school back on track has been voluptuous, neat word, And OW appreciates that the current administration is dedicated to making sure Endazhi-Nitaawiging remains financially viable organization to serve the students of Wood Lake Nation. The next big bold was a failure of the board to manage accountability. Until fiscal year 26, the board had not conducted any formal evaluations of the school leaders during the school's first years of operation. This represented a significant failure of the board's oversight responsibility. Going down to the update, it said the school completed an evaluation of the head of school on February 26th, resulting in the non-renewal or extension of the head of school employee contract. The school completed an evaluation of the executive director in March of 2026, resulting in the executive director being provided with an improvement plan based on performance. In each year of the future operations, the school board must conduct an evaluation of the school leader aligned with the job description to be in compliance with state law and charter school contract. Okay, so we are making progress. If you go to page 5, you will see that it has revised deadlines, immediate and ongoing. The blue will be continuing to monitor, currently happening, needs to continue. Always record the review of the financial reports. Finance provided to the board must include the budget, disbursements, student enrollment report. Quarterly for the quarters ending, the board must receive a financial packet, which you have gotten tonight. Income statements, including revenues and expenditures for you cards, which is in your packet, and up-to-date cash flow projections. So we are currently doing that, and they need to continue. Then it goes on to ensuring board meetings, agendas, and packets consistently include financial and operational reports, personnel changes, and updates on school leadership performance and compliance. That is an ongoing concern. This has not yet been improved, so we're working on it. Ensure the published meeting minutes to include sufficient detail to document the board's deliberations and decision-making. And as was commented earlier, Angel does an excellent job of reporting our board minutes. If anybody looks at them, they will see they are almost, well, virtually word for word. That needs to continue. UFARs are up to date and the school process is now in place. The MARS, we did have some issues with MARS, but it was because of MDE and we have worked to resolve that. So in the future, you won't see that. Submit completed on-time monthly and quarterly financial reports. We were good 80% of the time. It said the new administration had greatly improved this. 23 of the 25 late items this fiscal year occurred under the past leadership. So since we have been working with new leadership, those concerns have been corrected. And then continue to monitor the OW approved the MSB training. So the board is going to training and they are happy to see that. It should be completed by the end of May. And another continue to monitor the school improvement plan has been received and the site visit showed the school to be making progress on the plan. 7 is about our testing. Submit confirmation that fall STAR testing was completed. And this was provided at the site visits in January and April. And we have completed spring testing. So that this was written before we had the data to submit. Ongoing concerns, develop and submit more comprehensive system for collecting and reporting data on the Ojibwe language goal. That's an ongoing issue and we are working with another school to, this year we did find a rubric that we implemented at the end of the year. It was late and we recognized that it hadn't been developed at the beginning of the year, but we are monitoring that and moving forward, we will have that data. They were concerned because we adopted the Rosetta Stone and we didn't have any way to assess individual students using Rosetta Stone because the way the teachers were able to use it was through the smart board. And in order to assess through Rosetta Stone, each student would have to do it individually on a computer and then assess themselves. through the program. Continue to monitor slide deck and student samples assessment provided to OW via email. PD on this needs to be provided in subsequent years for new staff and refresher for returning staff. So we know our areas where we have to continue to grow. Another continue to monitor submitted complete fiscal year 25 academic performance data in accordance with section 6.7 of the charter contract. Results from government required assessments, results from nationally normed references. Under the former administration, only NCA data was received, and the new leadership has since started administering the nationally normed student level assessments, and they are uploaded into ARI. Then we come on to the board plan to prevent consolidation or multiple officer roles under a single individual for extended periods of time. And it says a board succession plan was received in December, and it shows, excuse me, it shows discussed at the board meeting, no current officer positions are held by a single member. You have elected officers within the board that are separate and apart. Ongoing concern, submissions to the business manager, MDE, and continue to be later missing. This is greatly improved with the new administration. We were just slightly late with one of ours, and it was because we couldn't get a signed piece of paper quick enough. We missed it by 2 days. Adopted and posted to the website as of January 2025, student fees, policies, and fundraising, electronic funds, transfer policies. A lot of these are policies that are required and were not in place before, but now we're getting them. So we have to continue to monitor our policies. Amend and submit the procurement credit card and nepotism policies to comply with the statute. And they are continuing to monitor these. These were amended and submitted in December 2025 and are posted on the website. Develop a school leader evaluation process to be completed no later than December 31st, 2025. And it's an ongoing concern. The school did evaluate the ED in the winter of 2026. However, it does not provide an evaluation plan or tool to OW. And an ongoing plan for evaluation improvement should be in place prior to the hiring of the new ED. So that is a work in progress.
So do you have on that one, do you have
We have the copies of the ones that were done.
the specific, culturally specific in regards to the charter school? Like the different cultural relevant things that put in play, especially with Endazhi right
I
now?
think that, so I haven't really looked at what the evaluations you used before, but that would be something the board can work on to make sure that that's included.
Yeah, I was just going to say for the last one about the Rosetta Stone one, I think we are able to make a committee, formulate a committee to help
For the
ensure that gets
language.
developed, like an assessment gets developed.
Mhm.
I think that should
Yeah,
happen.
I think
So
under
you
your
need
new
to
leadership,
back
that would be a good
time
thing.
to go around it.
Didn't we change that evaluation though?
We changed it from the original one, the one we did with Sylvia. So we adapted it to when we did.
Or there was like the medicine wheel and we readapted it so that it would be something that was more tangible that we could evaluate on rather than.
Is that
That
what it says
piece.
about the OOC?
I heard my name. Was that, were you guys calling me? I heard my name.
No, you're
Do
talking
you have a
about when
question?
you did when we had your evaluation done. We used it right out of the director's
Well, this one was to evaluate the kids.
Yeah, I'm happy if my name's being used. I'm happy to answer any questions.
So that will be a
Thank you.
work in progress with them.
Yeah.
And then the board must adopt internal controls framework, which include at least identification of gaps between the school's current practices and OW criteria and prioritizing needs that will be addressed in the next school year. And that is the school submitted an internal framework document and must continue to monitor. Continue to monitor submission of the STAR testing. That's talking about our ongoing testing. So this was provided at the site visits in January and April, and I think I changed the page. We're on 9. We have established clear purchasing procedures, segregation of duties for financial transactions, written protocols for contracted review. And we, in August of 2025 and further revised to address outstanding concerns in November of 25, these are ongoing issues regarding financial solvency. And we have addressed each and every one of them. Completed and submitted assessments of individual full board training, ongoing concern compliance by some, but not all board members last fall. So you're all registered for your board training. We should be in compliance for that.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Submit a 4-year financial plan, and that's what we're working on right now. With the data that we gathered at the working board meeting, and they are going to be monitoring us. So we want to make sure that all our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. So we're working very closely with our business manager, Todd, and with Mary to make sure that everything is right. And that is why it isn't quite done as yet, but it will be done. We want to make sure it's done correctly. And then participating in governance training. That's again with more training, continue to have MES train the school boards, and you guys are doing that. They wanted you to have that training sooner, but they're glad that you are doing it, so continue to monitor. And then revise and submit the fiscal year 25 annual report. The school revised areas could be items like dissemination of information, administering parent and student surveys. Could not be done retroactively, and this will continue to be monitored. Stuff should have been done earlier in the year and wasn't. So they will continue to monitor us to see if that gets done right away in the fall and then carries through the spring. Collecting data from parent satisfaction surveys, and it's not due yet, but we'll be working on that in the fall. And conduct self-evaluation of board performance. So you guys will be evaluating yourselves as well. So overall, we made a lot of corrections and we're
Huge
continuing to work to move forward.
All right. We're gonna talk about the renewal application. You found them?
Oh, the renewal application process,
Yep.
yes, we are working on getting that in place as well. I think it's really close to being done.
Okay, good.
Maybe for anything else.
Anybody have any questions? Pretty self-explanatory, the report, right? Okay.
Which, thank you.
Alrighty, moving on to item 7, consent of the agenda. I need a motion to approve the following working board minutes of April 15, 2026.
I'll second.
Am I allowed to vote on this if I wasn't in these? That's my question. Just abstain? Okay. Thank you. So it's just, that doesn't seem right.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up. So we need the motion.
We had a motion by Nokomis and a second by Bianca.
Any discussion?
I'd like to abstain.
Abstain.
To all the ones up until the working board, which is on the very last one.
The vote.
Yeah, so we're just doing them all. So then after today.
Yes, okay. Let's do them all. I would like to be abstained from all of these. A, B, C, D, E, and F.
Right.
Are you sure about F because you were there for that one?
It's all or none though.
Yeah,
It's a.
or A through E. But see, it says A and then A, B, right? So if it's 7A and then A, B, C, D, E, you know what I mean?
Well, it's 7 and then A because that's the motion. And then the motion carries 7 pieces. That's why it goes A, B, C, D.
Okay.
Yep.
So. Just abstaining to vote on it, that's all. Approving the vote, that's all, right? So just this one, but I can do a new business.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's no more discussion or anybody have discussion, we're gonna move on to the vote. We're approving the working board minutes of April 15th, the regular board minutes of April 15th. Special board meeting minutes of April 23rd, annual board meeting minutes of April 27th. Special board meeting minutes of May the 11th. And working board minutes of May 16th. So I'm asking for the vote, Nicolas Pies,
Yes.
Bianca Mendoza,
Yes.
Victoria Finde, yes. Anne Marie English Defoe,
Yes.
Chelsea Jordan requested to be abstained from all. Approve that of the minutes. Motion passed for.
So the motion carries 4-0-1.
Yeah.
Would I still write that on?
We're moving on to 7, new business. A motion to approve the financial report as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Any discussion? So what I have is if, Todd's gonna be available, Todd and Mary will be available if you have any questions in regarding the financial report. So no discussion, moving on to the vote.
Oh, the only thing that I have to say about any reports and agenda items that we receive in the future is that if we can get them a few days ahead of time.
Yes. And that's been an ongoing issue. And I apologize for that. Okay, so moving on to the vote, Nicole Paez. For approval of financial report.
Yes.
Bianca Mendoza,
Yes.
Victoria Finde, yes. Anne Marie Defoe English,
Yes.
Chelsea Jordan,
Yes.
motion carried 5-0. And moving on to new business B, motion to non-renewal contract with Soaring Bird. Yeah.
I make a motion.
Okay. Any discussions? Any discussion?
Is there a replacement for that one?
I believe they're looking into another human resources entity to help with.
That would be internal.
Yep.
And we talked about it at the board meeting, Brenda, or the working board Saturday. And it just costs too much to have them an outside source and not in.
Do we have like a contingency until another one can be identified? Because we're gonna be running into like summer school and stuff like that.
We found that we are actually duplicating some services. That Todd and Mary actually keep a lot of these forms. Actually, all of them also.
Yeah.
So we're actually duplicating services, and Soaring Bird didn't even have a lot of things we wanted, we had to go to Mary. So we're actually doubling up. We're paying for something that we don't need to.
Right.
And that's with SMS?
SMS has our records. But, and Soaring Bird is a
didn't
separate
have a
entity
lot-
to handle
didn't have a
HR,
lot of it.
but we don't really need them because SMS does it too. So we're paying for duplicate services.
And then wasn't it really hard to get any answers from them and
Yes,
documentation
we've
was
been
requested?
having some. We
So-
recently had to try to find some stuff that they didn't even have it, so.
So who will be overseeing the HR stuff?
HR will be overseen by Joel.
Okay,
In
that was
co-
basically,
cooperation.
Until we can,
It's not a
Make-
conflict.
until we can make sure SMS, we can get updated contract if that requires additional funds or not.
do we have to update her contract for that? Cause didn't we just approve a new contract for her?
Not for her, I mean, with SMS. Remember,
SMS has access to
if
that.
if we need to
What
add
if she's
that
gonna
on.
oversee it though?
Well, all she'll be doing is filing stuff to them. Somebody has to send the copies in.
Is that, included like under duties of her new contract is what I'm trying to clarify.
You have to look at that.
Cause that could be an HR duty that comes to bite us later on.
Yeah,
Well, I was thinking too that we can,
We have
we
30
can
days with this
do some
company.
kind of, member of an MOU with, the tribal HR. You know, but I don't know if they have the educational piece to,
For the
for
school.
the school.
so we have 30 days left on.
Yeah,
so
we have 30 days left on this contract. But
So
we
it
have
just
to
allows the
notify,
30
the reason we're doing it now is because we have to notify them 30 days in advance of ending the contract. That's why we're doing it now.
Right.
And
So this ends June 30th?
the renewal is due on the 30th of June.
Okay, so that's just in case. If we don't find somebody else, then Jola will step in after June 30th? Or is that something that's gonna be ongoing?
We created some, we found, we had files in the director's office, so we just, and we used some of them, and we found some. But SMR, they already have them, they're already there. They get sent to them already, so they already have the HR.
So if we can come up with some, if we can come up with some MOU with SMS, because they already have access to that. And if they're gonna if they're going to, charge us extra to compile that for the human resources plus the financial part of it.
Well, I can see like Jola taking over certain stuff, but then once it hits that admin level, I think that's where we need to have a different, connection to SMS. So I don't know if that's something that we want to consider.
Well, I think
That paperwork just goes to the tribal council's HR and they submit that to SMS. So then that way there's an outside third party paper trail.
So I'll go talk with, Sharon Norris and see what she says about that.
Yeah, because I also don't want that to fall on somebody like additional duties and have that create some kind of concern or issues in the future.
Please document that. All right, so any more discussion on that? But thank you for your comment, Holly. So we're moving on to the vote for, non-renewal contract with Soaring Bird, Nicole Miss Paez.
Yes.
Bianca Mendoza.
I think you guys are muted. No, you guys are on mute. You just press the unmute button.
Get muted.
How long was it unmuted?
Just for the old business.
Okay. You wanna reread
So did
that?
you all reread the comment that was made for old business 8A? The board met in a closed meeting on May 11, 2026, in accordance with Minnesota statute 13D05 subdivision 2 4B to consider preliminary allegations or charges against a person subject of the board's authority, and has determined that the facts support a conclusion of misconduct by Executive Director Nathaniel Taylor, resulting in his termination from Endazhi-Nitaawiging Charter School. An additional action based on the investigation was given during the open session. Then we had adjournment at 6:12 p.m. Taking a vote to adjourn. Nicole Paez?
Yes.
Bianca Mendoza?
Yes.
Victoria Pinde, yes. Anne Marie English Defoe, Chelsea Jordan.
Yes.
Motion passed 5-0.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible. For sure.